Lisa Branch with the Parenting Paradox. Parenting Paradox with Lisa Branch.
Who here has children? Let me see your hands. All right. Who here has ever been a child? Good. I didn't want anybody to feel left out. For those of you who have children, I hope that we can empathize with each other. And for those of you who don't have kids, this may be a really great form of birth control and steer you clear of ever having kids. Fellow Toastmasters, have you ever thought about when you want to drive a car, you need to go and get a driver's license? You write an exam, you do a practical driving test, and if you pass, then you're allowed to drive a car. And if you want to get married, you need to go through premarital course where you learn about communication styles, finances, intimacy, and then you go and get a marriage license, and then you can get married. But parenting, unless I missed the memo again on which room to go to get my parenting license, they let just about anybody become a parent. Truth be told, I thought parenting was going to be easy. I mean, when I considered what my parents did to produce this, it didn't seem all that difficult. When I was hired for a new job, I received an orientation guide. When I received a new coffee maker for Christmas, it came with a user manual complete with diagrams. But new life? Where's the guide for babies, toddlers, teenagers? Sure, there's optional parenting books that you can read, but I happen to agree with standardized testing. How hard can it be? I mean, what's up with that? Something interesting that I noticed is that when we become pregnant, we want our pregnancy to be normal. No morning sickness, consistent growth, regular blood pressure. But as soon as that baby pops out, we want everything to be extraordinary. We expect baby to sleep through the night within the first week. Baby needs to be crawling by 3 months, walking by 12 months, and speaking in full sentences by a year. We expect our child to be a prodigy of piano, violin, nuclear physics. Our culture today says that there's something very wrong with average. And our expectations are up here. And as an overachiever, my expectations are way up here. Something else that I've noticed, for those of you who have more than one child, you usually have a very easy child for that first one. And then you get tricked into thinking that you can continue to produce offspring that are the best of both parents, and you roll the genetic dice and have baby number 2, and then you get the strong-willed child. It's really easy to see the strong-willed child because they're the ones that have the parents following who are at their wits' end. Let me paint you a hypothetical picture. There's a boy, and he's overwhelmed with a school project. And he says, "I'm not going to school." His mom looks at him and says, "Well, you have to go to school. It's not an option. Of course you're going. It's against the law to not go to school." "I'm not going." "No phone, no screen for a week." "I'm not going." It's okay not to have a perfect project. You have to go to school. I'm not going. Well, at this point, I take his hand and his foot, and I fold them in half like a taco. Completely hypothetical still, of course. And I drag him to the kitchen. Now, let me get out of the kitchen for a moment and let you know that I already packed his bag. And it was in the van. And the van door is open. And the garage door is open. So as I'm dragging him through the house, I can see my line of sight directly to the target. I drag him through. I get him into the van. I pin him down. I get the seatbelt on him. And then I realize the statistical probability of me getting out of the van, going around to the other side, opening the door, getting in, buckling in, driving out, before he gets out and goes to the house, well, my chances are 0. He may have won that battle, but I was determined to win the war. I phoned the school, embarrassed and frustrated. I said, my son is not coming to school today. And I walked back in the house. And he looks at me and he goes, "What's wrong, Mom?" Infuriated. I honestly admit, I'm not done being mad at you. A few minutes later, he says, "Hey, Mom, you want to play a game?" A game? No, I don't want to play a game. It is my sacred duty to create a special kind of hell here at home so that you don't ever want to skip school again. Deep breath. Take a deep breath, everyone. To help with this, I love you, but I don't love what you're doing situation. I remind myself of the potential this has one day. That one day you will need that strong will to stand up for someone or something. And until that time, I will try not to kill you. This is a parenting paradox. You love your kids so much, and they drive you crazy so much. You can't wait for them to grow up. And then when it happens, it happened too fast. There's no license, no training. Can't even return them. But it's still worthwhile. I can sum up everything about parenting with this final statement. I am the wisest mother on earth. I know but one thing, and it is that I know nothing.